Hi friends, welcome back for sentence correction practice 2. So today we'll continue with a few questions. Last time we saw around 15 questions, so today I'm going to continue with the rest of the questions. So we can readily start now, right? So yeah, in the last two videos we saw the fundamentals of sentence correction, and then I introduced the basic rules to you, and I've also given some kind of examples, right? Like how we can solve the questions in the most simplest way. Now today we'll continue with the same thing. Now, as you see, there is a question displayed here, and let's read the question and see like how we can solve it, right? Okay. Now, on Friday evening, Mamta and me took a coach for Patna and arrived at Jamal's house. Now, when we look at this sentence, we understand that no, there is error in the second part of the sentence. You can watch the cursor, okay? So basically what happens is on Friday evening, basically when we say days, okay, we use on, okay? And we are talking about Friday evening. So there is no construction or any grammatical error in the first part. So we'll leave that. Now coming back to the next one, we see Mamta and me, okay? Things seems to be normal here, but then we'll come back to it again, right? So we'll go to the next one. Took a coach. Yeah, basically the speaker is talking about an action which happened like on Friday, so it's in the past. So took a coach is good, there is nothing wrong here. For partner, yes, for partner, and arrived at Jamal's house. Now everything seems to be okay here, okay? So but then you just have to remember that whenever we are trying to compare no, somebody with us, right? So we are talking about two people, that is one involving us and one involving another one. You usually say I. So basically it would be on Friday evening, Mamta and I. Okay, on Friday evening, Mamta and I took a coach for Patna and arrived at Jamal's house. That should be the right way in which you have to convey this sentence. So if you look at the solution, you would see on Friday evening, Mamta and I. See, just remember this construction. So whenever you see that the sentence speaks about someone and you always use I. So this is what that you have to understand, right? So basically while solving sentence correction or vocabulary questions, your experience and your prior knowledge helps you in many ways, right? So if you have read books, if you have listened to such constructions, you would always remember it should be Mamta and I. Okay, so prior knowledge is very important. That's what I want to say. Right, let's go to the next question. Yeah, the conference was attended by more than 100 delegates. Now here we are talking about a conference, and we are talking about talking as if the action had happened in the past. Okay, so basically the conference was, there is nothing wrong here, attended. You see the past verb is used, so everything is correct. So if you take the conference, it's a singular subject and we use a past singular auxiliary verb. So this again is correct. And we have added a V2 form. So that again is correct. So attended, okay, attend, like attends or attended, okay. So by more than 100 delegates, there's nothing wrong. See, we usually say by more than, yeah, by more than is correct, and there's nothing wrong here. 100 delegates, yeah, that means that more than 100 delegates means no people who are very important guests or VIPs, uh, call them like that. So 100 delegates have attended, more than that have attended. So basically there is no error with this sentence. Okay, so let's go to the solution, and you see there is no error here, right? Good. Now, as I told you, just remember that you have to look at the subject first and then look at the auxiliary verb. And if you see everything is okay there, then subject verb agreement is perfect. Then you can look at the words, you can look at the grammatical constructions of the other parts of the sentence. And if everything is fine, then you would go with no error, right? Now, in this question, like, there are no conducted tours for tourists to visit all the important places. Now, if you closely observe this question, we see that there are no conducted tours. Now, we are basically talking about plural. Now, we are talking about the tours, right? You mean like many tours or several tours. So the construction here is there are. Yes, it's absolutely correct, because there like are no conducted tours. Now everything seems to be plural here, and then for tourists to visit all the important places. See, again, in the end of the sentence you have places. We are talking about many places. Okay, so no, it's following. With this part, like, there are no conducted tours. Now everything seems to be matching, but if you look at this particular section of the sentence, like, for tourists to visit all the, again, all, you see, all basically means uh, everything, right? So for tourist, now tourist is a singular term, so we have to make it plural, so it would be for tourists. Okay, yes, you should add yes. So then this sentence would become correct. So there are no conducted tours for tourists to visit all the important places. Now that's the change that is required in this sentence. Now, as far as sentence correction is concerned, you are just marking where the error is. You are not supposed to change it. But for practice purpose, we try to justify the answer and then we try to change it, right? But in the real exam, you will not be able to do it. Your responsibility is just to mark where the error occurs. Yeah. So if you look at the solution, you see it needs to be for tourists, right? Good. Now, he neglects attending lectures regularly, though college is only a few yards away from his house. So here, unless you note down, like, kind of observe this sentence carefully, you'll not be able to look at the error. Now, he neglects attending lectures. Excuse me. Okay, now if you look at this, sentence, we see that we are talking about a singular subject and we have used neglects. So when you say neglects, basically it's a present verb. So as I told you, in the case of verb, if you add yes, it becomes singular. So it's matching with he. So he neglects is correct. And um, like attending lectures, we are talking about several lectures. So he neglects attending lectures regularly, though college is only a few yards away from his house. So what you have to remember here is we are talking about specifically about his college. Okay, we are kind of emphasizing on the college. So this needs to be he neglects attending lectures regularly, though the college is only a few yards away from his house. So we have to put a definite article here, so that would sound better. So if you look at the solution, you see he neglects attending lectures regularly, though the college is only a few yards away from his house. Right? Yes. Now, in this question, like if you saw the amount of samosas he consumed at breakfast this morning, you would understand why he is so overweight. So basically, what happens here is, if you observe the questions carefully, you will understand that if you saw the amount of samosas he consumed at breakfast this morning, you would understand why he is so overweight. Now, here, if you saw is quite good. There's nothing wrong here. But if you see here, like the amount of samosas, you cannot speak about amount of samosas. You have to say, you have to basically count it, right? So it's more about quantity. So the number of samosas would be appropriate. So if you saw the number of samosas he consumed at breakfast this morning, you would understand why he is so overweight. Now, the rest of the sentence is perfect. So, the only change that we have to do here is, if you saw the number of samosas he consumed at breakfast this morning. So, that's how it would sound. So, if you look at the solution, you would see, like if you saw the number of samosas, right? So, this is how you will do it. Next. In my opinion, the balance sheet exhibits a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the bank. Now, here, if you kind of look at the sentence, so in my opinion, okay, it seems to be all right. The balance sheet exhibits, now everything is correct here, a true and fair view. Okay, good. A true and fair. Now, both the words are quite different. Now, true means some information are very authentic, when we talk about something being so authentic, we say it's true, maybe original, okay. And fair is like without any bias. Now, they've given they've made information very transparent, without making it unfair. So basically there's nothing wrong here. Now, view of the state of affairs of the bank, I don't think there is any error there. So in my opinion, the balance sheet exhibits a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the bank. So there should be no error here. So if you look at the the solution, you will see that there is no error because everything seems to be fine and match, right? So next question is, every man, woman and child is now aware of the terrible consequences of habit of smoking. Now here we are talking about, say, man, women and child. Now all these people are very different. So every man, woman and child. Okay, it's like more of a general statement. So this seems to be okay. Is now aware of the terrible consequences of. Now till here there is nothing wrong, right? Now if you know this see, I'm able to identify this because of because of my prior knowledge. It's like I have come across sentences like these somewhere. So my intuition says that there's nothing or there is no error here. Okay, so but then if you look at this part, now we are talking specifically about the habit of smoking. So when you emphasize on something, right, so it needs to be definite. So you have to insert a definite article. So see, every man, woman and child is now aware of the terrible consequences of the habit of smoking. Now I have to emphasize this part. So I have to say that the habit of smoking. So that would be appropriate, right? So if you look at the solution, you see the definite article being given here. Okay. Now, in this question, the crowd at the stadium clapped jubilantly when the champion received his trophy. The crowd at the stadium, okay, the construction seems proper. Now, we are talking about the crowd who are in the stadium. The crowd at the stadium clapped jubilantly. Jubilantly is very happily, very much delighted. So they were clapping very jubilantly when the champion received his trophy. Okay, now we are talking about a past action, so nothing seems to be a problem here. So when the champion received his trophy, the crowd at the stadium clapped jubilantly. Now everything seems to be fine, so there shouldn't be any error. Yes? Okay, as you see, there is no error. Fine. Now here, our state will not be divided into two parts at any cost. Our state, okay, will not be divided, there is no construction error here, into two parts. Okay, we are talking about dividing the state into two parts. So basically, they are telling that our state under no cost will be divided into two parts. So there is no error here because everything seems to be perfect. So if you look at the sentence here, you see there is no error, okay, because everything is good. Now, this is one of the most interesting book I have ever read. Now, if you look at the sentence, what you have to understand is, we are talking about a specific book in comparison with the other books. Okay, so what happens is that this is one of the most interesting book. Now, when you say this, I'm talking about a specific book. Now, this is one of the most interesting book. Okay, but then I am doing it in comparison with the other books that I have come across. So, you are comparing something of your own with the others. So in this case, what you have to do is, this is one of the most interesting books. So this term needs to be plural. Okay, whenever, so you can also remember in this way, whenever you use like one of the, one of the, now this kind of expression, you have to use a plural uh, noun there or a subject there, right? So this is one of the most interesting books I have ever read. He is one of the most interesting persons I've ever met. So, similar sentence. You just have to remember this, right? Yeah. So, if you look at the solution, you see, okay, this is one of the most interesting books I have ever read. Okay. Now, in her hour of distress, she requested Morgan to lend her some money, but he refused to do so. Now, we'll see one by one. Like in her hour of distress, that is, she's having some problem, and that particular time, okay. So in her hour of distress, she requested Morgan to lend. Now everything seems to be correct here. She is requesting Morgan to lend her some money, okay, but he refused to do so. But he did not agree for it. He refused it. So basically, when you look at the constructions, when you look at the subject verb agreement, everything seems to be fine here. So there is no error with this sentence. Okay, yeah. So there is no error with this sentence. Now, if you look at this question, like since the day the strike was declared, since the day the strike was declared by the factory employees, over 20 workers have been dismissed and 10 resigned. Now, in the first part, I don't find any error. Now, since the day the strike was declared, right from the day, okay, so we are talking about right from the day when the strike was declared by the factory employees who declared the strike. It was done by the factory employees, so there's nothing wrong there. Over 20 workers have been dismissed. Okay, now see, if you look at this particular section carefully, you understand that right from that day till now, okay, over 20 workers have been dismissed. That means that all the 20 workers have been dismissed, okay, at different times, okay, right from the beginning of the day when the strike happened up until now, at different points of time, over 20 workers have been dismissed. So it has been a continuing, kind of action, okay, and 10 resigned. Now here, when I already used like have been, dismissed, I'm talking about a stretch of time, Now, but then here I've used past. So, you have to say it that around 10 have resigned. Okay, around 10 people have resigned. So that construction would be more appropriate because this happened quite recently, right? So what? So you have to say, since the day the strike was declared by the factory employees, over 20 workers have been dismissed and 10 have resigned. So that's how you have to modify it. So you see, 10 have resigned. Okay, yeah, yeah. The students were officially told that they are not to cross the road against the red light. The students were officially told that they are not to cross the road against the red light. So, see, the students, were officially. Now we are talking about the past. Okay, the students were officially told. So this seems to be correct. That they are not to cross. So now you see that here we are using a past auxiliary verb, but here we have used a present auxiliary verb. So we have to change this are into where. So that would be the right way to change this sentence. The students were officially told that they were not to cross the road against the red light. So that would be the answer. Yeah, see, they were. Okay, that's how you write. On my way to office, I shall generally come across many children wearing blue uniforms. Now, if you basically have read books or listened to, conversations, you will be easily to find the error here. So, on my way to office, yes, we always use this phrase like on my way to office. I shall generally come across. Now, this shall, it's not necessary here because shall is a probability and it's a future auxiliary verb. So, but I'm talking about a routine action, a kind of something which happens every day. So, I usually come across children wearing in blue uniforms whenever I'm going to office. So this is kind of a continuous thing that is happening. So here what you have to do is like you have to say on my way to office I generally come across. Now this shall is not required there. It is unnecessary there and it changes the the tense. Okay, so on my way to office I generally come across many children wearing blue uniforms. So that's how you have to uh, you know change it. See, on my way to office I generally come across many children. Okay, so that's how you will change it. Great. Now, the well-clad servant lays the table while the lady of the house was busy with her guests. Now, note down the tense. Now, if you closely note down the tense, we have the well-clad servant lays. Now, here we are talking about present, right? The table while the lady of the house was busy with guests. Now we are using a past auxiliary verb here, so it's not matching. So we have to change this lays into laid. So the well-clad servant laid the table, okay, because he had already done it. So servant laid the table while the lady of the house was busy with her guests, right? So if you look at the answer, you see laid here. Good. So this is how you will solve. And the tutor cautioned the girl's guardian that she would not be able to get through the examination until she did not work hard. Now, see, there is a negative statement here. Now, the tutor cautioned the girl's guardian. There's no error in this because the tutor is just warning the girl's guardian. Now, everything seems to be perfect because, see, I'm talking about a specific tutor and I'm talking about a specific girl's guardian. So, the So I've used the definite article here and here, so things are good. And caution means the tenses in the past. Okay, so everything seems to be fine here. That she would not, okay, she would not, okay, be able to get through the examination. Now this is a probability or it's a prediction, okay, so that she would not be able to get through the examination. Till here everything seems to be fine, but until she did not work hard, you know this again seems to be negative. So here it's kind of double negative, which is not possible, so you have to change it into positive here. Okay, so what the speaker is trying to say is, like, until the girl works hard, no, she would not be able to get through the examination. So we have to change this part of the sentence. So this is where the error is. So if you look at the answer, you would see the tutor cautioned the girl's guardian that she would not be able to get through the examination until she worked hard. Okay, because here we are using caution, so it's an ed, past tense, so again we have to use a past tense. So until she worked hard, she would not be able to get through the examination. So that's how you will uh, you know write it. Okay. She said that she will help me whenever I was in difficulty. Now, she said that she will help me whenever I was in difficulty. So here we are talking about her interest to help somebody, right? So it would be more appropriate to say she said that she would help me, okay, whenever I was in difficulty. So whenever this happens, she would help me. So basically, you have to use would instead of will. It's more of kind of imaginary in sense. So what you have to do is you have to just change that. Now she said that she would help me whenever I was in difficulty. So this is more appropriate. Next question. Being a fine day, we went out for a picnic at Okla. Being a fine day, we went out for a picnic at Okla. Uh, now here, what you have to do is you have to, tell which day. Now, this being a fine day or it being a fine day. Now, basically, you use it being a fine day for such an expression. So you have to say it being a fine day. Uh, we went out for picnic at Okla. So that should complete your sentence. Because being a fine day, you cannot. This seems incomplete here. So when you change it, it becomes it being a fine day. We are talking about a specific time or a specific date. So it's better to say it being a fine day. So this is what you have to add. I mean, like, you don't add it when you're solving. Only when you're kind of practicing it, you do it. But then when you're really solving for the exam, you will not have the option to edit it, right? Rather than you just have to mark where the error is. So you would just say that there is something wrong in this part of the sentence. Okay. Yeah. So, my friend being unwilling to attend the court at an early hour of the morning sent a letter explaining why could he not obey. Now, see, when you read, you understand there is something wrong with this part of the sentence. Okay, so it's kind of odd here. Now, because my friend being unwilling to attend the court at an early hour of the morning, he sent a letter explaining why he could not obey, explaining why he could not obey. Now, that's how you will have to change it. Now, yeah, I'll just confirm that. Yeah, why he could not obey. Okay. Yeah, so that's how you have to change it, because uh, this is not the way you have to say it. So it needs to be explaining why he should come before. Now, explaining why he could not obey. Now, not obey. This would be the right form of construction, and this comes out of practice, so you can do it. Now again the same kind of sentence here. Being a hot day, I shall not be able to do any more work. Is it being a hot day? I'm referring to a particular day. So it being a hot day, I shall not be able to do any more work. So that's how you will say. Good. So here, the apples he gave me are too expensive to be bad. The apples he gave me are too expensive to be bad. Now, if you look at this sentence, you have to, understand that the apples is correct. Okay, we can use the definite article with either the singular or the plural, and then what you have to understand is like he gave me the apples he gave me are too expensive to be bad. Now I don't think there is any error, but let me check. Yeah, there is no error. Okay, basically even I didn't find any error in this, so I think we don't have any issue, right? So if you look at this one, the next question, I have been knowing him for the last 4 years, yet I haven't been able to establish friendship with him. So here everything seems to be fine. Like I have been knowing him for the last 4 years, and yet I haven't been able to establish friendship with him. Now we don't say I have been knowing, right? We have to say I have known him for the last 4 years. Okay, I have known him for the last 4 years, yet I haven't been able to establish friendship with him. So here is the mistake. So you have to say I have known him. That's how you write it. So you say I have known him for the last 4 years. That's how we have to make the construction. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The next question. Like we must not complain that roses have thorns, but rather grateful that thorns bear flowers. You see, B is missing here, but rather be grateful. So we have to say, no, the B form is missing. Like we must not complain that roses have thorns, but rather be grateful that thorns bear flowers. So if you look at the sentence, you'll understand B should make this more meaningful. Right. So next is, did I not told you that it was quite necessary to be in time? So like did I not tell you? That would be perfect because did is already a past verb here, and again told, it's kind of a repetition which is not meaningful, so you have to say did I not tell you. So it's a present verb would be far better. Okay, here, so did I not tell you that it was quite necessary to be in time? So did I not tell you? You see, this is correct, this is correct, because we already have a past verb, and here again we cannot use a past V2 verb, right? Okay, now this should be the last question. Okay, day in and day out, he keep telling his friends that he wants to go abroad. Now, day in and day out seems to be fine. Now, he keeps telling. Okay, now, which is routine. Okay, which is kind of, you have to use a simple present tense here. So, he keeps telling, he always keeps advising, something like that. So, he keeps telling his friends that he wants to go abroad. Now again, we have to use the present, so it's correct. So the only change that you have to make is day in and day out, he keeps telling. That's how the construction should be. So if you look at the answer, you see day in and day out, he keeps telling. I said he keeps telling, but then you have to insert a preposition. So it would be better to insert prepositions to make it more meaningful. So day in and day out, he keeps on telling. Okay, this is happening continuously. So keeps on is a phrase. So basically what you do is like you have to use it in this way. So day in and day out, he keeps on telling his friends that he wants to go abroad. So with this, I think we are completing, the second practice level for sentence correction. I hope everything is clear. I advise you to take up more questions. I mean, like if it's possible, I'll take up some more questions and discuss in the future. So, but then you don't have to stop here with these questions. There are tons of websites, there are tons of places from where you can get similar questions and you can start solving. So, the more you tend to solve, the better you can perform. So, always understand the knowledge of rules, your prior knowledge, your ability to continuously read and listen to similar expressions will make you very strong in solving sentence correction. Okay, this is not just for the purpose of solving in the examination. This will also make you very competent when you're trying to speak. So I want you to continuously practice, and then if you like the video, you can subscribe to my channel. And if you have any doubts or if you want any help or if you're looking for any materials, I would be happy to give you. So please share your comments and your mail address on the comment section, so I'll be able to get in touch with you. Thank you very much for being with me today. Bye.